Hi Yens, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another special edition of Ginger Gerald Stitcher. I'm Gerald, Ginger Gerald Stitcher. If you are new to this channel, I welcome. I hope you like what you have to see. And if you do, please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the like button, the thumbs up button, and come back for another episode or two. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and welcome back. So today's video is a special end of the year edition. I am going to be talking about my plans for 2021. Let me start over again. I'm going to be talking about my plans for 2021. Now, if you are a longtime subscriber to my channel or know me well enough, we all know I don't like plans. I don't make plans. I typically don't have plans. So please bear in mind that what we talk about in this video is going to be a very loose agenda or outline of what I have projected for 2021. And the reason I say that is because last year I had said I'm going to finish London, my Thea Governor piece, 20. And if you watched my project parade from the other day, we all know how far I got on London. Now, I'm not going to be talking about London today because I'm going to get that project done when I get that project done, and I'm not going to put any timelines on that. And all the pieces that I'm going to talk about today, there are going to be no timelines on except for one project that I talk about today. Well, two projects. So please just keep in mind that this is really just going to be I'm going to talk about start in 2021. And yes, I'm talking about starts, which again, I'm not one that starts a lot of things, but this is just a list of the things that I want to work on in 2021. So if you've been following my Flossmas videos, we all know that I've been working on my Barbara Anna designs. This is something I started on Christmas Day. I don't know, Christmas Day? The day after Christmas? Something like that. So I'm working on this, and it's taking me everything in me not to finish this in 2020. This is where I'm at as of today. This will be the very first finish in 2021. So I will have this before I do anything else in 2021. This will be a New Year's finish. And I have a New Year's Day start. This will be a finish before I'm even allowed to start this a New Year's Day start. That's just, I'm holding myself to that because I want to get this one done. I don't know why I'm so gung-ho on finishing this, but I really want to just get this finished. And so I'm probably going to work on this tomorrow, which is New Year's Eve, which is probably today as you're watching this because I'm releasing this video on New Year's Eve. I'm probably going to work on this and just have like a slim amount of stitches left to finish on New Year's Day and then just knock them out on New Year's Day. And that way then it'll be a finish and then I can move on to my New Year's Day start. So this will be finish number 1 in 2021. Now, we all know I don't keep great records of my projects and my finishes and how many I finish and when I finish it. I'm not that type of stitcher. I don't like to have those kind of... To me, it feels like work when I do that. And it's great if you are that kind of person, and I love watching those videos because, you know, it's great to have plans and it's great to do all that kind of stuff. I have to do that kind of stuff for work, and I have to keep all kinds of detailed records and everything for work. So whenever I do something for my hobby, I don't want it to feel like work. So therefore, whenever I do, I just don't keep track. And that's just the way I operate, and I don't like that kind of pressure. Whenever things start to feel like work, it makes me not want to do them. So that's just why I don't keep accurate records. I've tried to keep a journal of all of my finishes for a year, and I do it for like a month, and then all of a sudden it just like, I forget about it. It just doesn't happen. So that is what happens, and that's why I don't do the things that I do. So that is going to be my very first finish and what I work on first in 2021. Now, I have all my other projects that I'm carrying over into 2021. I will be working on all those. I will also be planning on finishing the Queen Sampler by Plum Street Samplers, the Elizabeth I, which is actually on my stand right now. I've been working on that the last day or so. I will be finishing that probably in January of 2021 as well. There's no timeline on that. I'm not even going to say that it'll be done in January 2021. I'm just projecting that that's when it will be done. But if it is great. If it's not, great. So that will also be a finish in 2021. Everything else will be finished when it gets finished. Now, I have a pile of starts here that I have, not starts. These are things that I would like to start in 2021. Now, these are my short list of things that I do, and I'm going to hold my New Year start to the end. So 2021 for me is going to be the year of smalls. So we all know that Ginger Gerald Stitcher is a large project stitcher. Not everything, but many of the things that I typically stitch on are multi-year projects that they stretch into many years because they're large pieces. And they take a long time to stitch. Henry VIII took me 2.5 years to stitch. London is now going into year 4, 3.5, 4. So I like to work on large projects. I like to have that I like the large projects. I like the very detailed projects, but I also like working on something that I have a really big sense of accomplishment whenever they are completed. Now, that's not to say that I don't have a sense of accomplishment when I do a small, but I don't have the same sense of accomplishment as whenever I finish something large. And so I like that sense. I like completing large projects. But this year, I have a whole lot of small projects that I really would like to work on, and I just don't really ever give the time of day to my smaller projects. So, first off, and now some of these projects you're going to be like, that's not a small, Gerald, but in my eyes it's a small, or it's a medium small, and so that's why it's on my list of smalls. So the very first couple things that I'm going to show you are a couple kits. One kit I don't have here. It's still in the mail, but it's definitely going to be a start in 2021. And that is a Riolas kit that whenever it does come, I will show you. But the mail is still back. It was supposed to be here today, but now the mail is saying that it's going to be arriving late, and I don't know when it's going to be here. So it will be here when it is here. It is an architectural design, so when it's here, I will show you. But my other Riolas kit that is definitely going to be a start, and this is still a small to me because Riolas kits to me, typically are small kits, a small size for me, is my Red Panda. So this will be a 2021 start, and I will be framing this and hanging it in my office along with the owl and the hedgehogs that I've showed you in Flossmas videos. So my Panda will be a start in 2021. I do have another animal pattern that I have my fox that I already have here that will be hung in my office. I don't know when I'll start that one. And then I also have another Riolas kit that is another animal one that is on the way. That may be a 2021 start that will also be hung with these patterns, but I don't know. I'm not going to say that as a 2021 kit start because I definitely want to start the Panda and get this one done this year, as well as the architectural one that I'm going to do in 2021. So I like to have at least one Riolas kit every year. This year I'm definitely going to have two, the Panda as well as the architectural one that I'm doing. Another kit that I have that I've never done this brand before that I'm definitely going to start whenever I went through my my pile of stuff that I have that I would really like to work on this year is my Pana Egyptian cat. I don't know what else you would call this. This is, I'm going to call it an Egyptian cat. So I got this from this was gifted to me by that one Russian website that gave me, whenever I reviewed their website, I forget the name of this site. It's slipping my mind at the moment, but I completely forgot about this kit for a while. And whenever I went through my pile of stuff that I have to do, I saw this and was like, oh, I really want to do this. I absolutely love this design, of course, because of the colors, and it's on dark fabric. And so I definitely want to start this year. So again, this is a Pana kit. And looking forward to doing that one. Now this is a questionable kit. So this is a Lanarte kit that I got from on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And it is a owl profile. Well, it's not a profile, but it's a cutout of the face of an owl. So I've never done a Lanarte kit before. I think this would be an interesting kit to do. This would be for a gift if I do it, because it's not one that I would want to have hanging anywhere, but I have friends who absolutely love owls. So it would definitely be a gift for somebody. So I very well may do this one and stitch it up for my friend. So this is a possible new start in 2021. Again, I consider this a small, but I'm not exactly sure. It's 19 by 26 centimeters. I'm not 100% sure what that size is. So now, here are my non-kit projects that I am interested in doing this year. This is a Blackberry Lane Designs that I bought at the New Jersey retreat whenever I last year. So this is a Christmas ornament. This is a full coverage design, but it's a small one. I think this would be a lot of fun to stitch, but it's going to be definitely color confetti intense. So it's called Keeping Watch, and it does come with the finishing bits to finish it with the for the tassel. So I would like to finish this, or at least start it this year. Another thing that I would like to stitch this year, I have stitched one of these, but I would like to stitch all four of these as smalls for myself, are the Vickery Collection beer steins. So I've stitched the fall one as a giveaway whenever I went to the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat the very first year. I would like to do all four of these as smalls for myself. I absolutely love the Vickery Collection designs, and I love beer steins, so I think that would be a lot of fun to stitch up for myself. Okay, some other smalls that I'm interested in stitching. One, I've never done a Little House Needleworks. I really like, excuse me, I really like this design. This is Coming to America. So it's Coming to America. So again, this is just an architectural design. I love the faint skyline in the background, along with the architecture and everything up front. Plus, I live outside of Philadelphia, so would love to stitch that. I think this is just a neat little small, so I would like to stitch Queen Esther's Pure Heart by Scattered Seed Samplers. And now, keep in mind, some of these I very well may change the colors. to what I have on hand or just kind of like make it my own. This is a kit that I have. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the entire kit or if I'm just going to do the Union Jack, but this is the Posey Collection Fine Needlework Designs Historic Flag Set. It comes with the even weave and the flosses, but I'm definitely going to do the Union Jack. Not sure if I'll do the other 3 flags or not, but definitely the Union Jack. Along with the British series, I bought these at my local needlework store. This is the Heraldry Spheres by Historic Needlework Guild. I bought this primarily to stitch this up for my friend who is an Anglophile. And so I want to do the crest of St. George for him. All right, so another set of smalls that I'm interested in doing. These are the Lavender Wings Land That I Love series. And I bought this when I was at Stitchville, USA when I was in Minnesota. And the reason I bought this one is because I've lived in Pennsylvania and I currently live in New Jersey. So I would like to stitch these up for myself. And again, these are smalls, so that would be something fun to do. I could put them on my my Christmas tree or something like that. Again, I would probably change up the colors a little bit as best as I could just so that it would match my Christmas decor, which is bronzes and golds. Two things that I'm interested in stitching. I might not do both of them, but I would definitely like to get one started. I've never done a Stony Creek before, and I have 2 Stony Creeks designs in my collection. So the first one is Let It Snow. Again, this is not my aesthetic. Neither one of these are really my aesthetic, but they would definitely be a nice gift to give to somebody. Or the Welcome Heart and Home. I do love the colors in this one, and I love everything. I love the farm. I grew up on a farm, so you know I do like that farm landscape style. But I would not hang this in my home. But I think it would be a lot of fun to stitch. So, and I finally now have the fabric that I could use because I did just buy that big piece of 28 count Lugana. So I very well may stitch this one up for, and I mean, you could always even just stitch the smaller pieces, but I think it would be a lot of fun to stitch the larger design. So one of these will be started this year, most likely. And then, why do I have this here? Not sure. So we're not going to talk about that. But then the last thing I have before my New Year's new start is the Summer House Stitchworks Nordic Yuletide. Now the reason I have these here is because I just recently made a purchase to XJU Designs for some fabrics, and she now has hand-dyed silks. So I purchased some of her hand-dyed silks, and I think what I'm going to do is stitch up some of these ornaments, or I believe they're Yuletide, Nordic Yuletide ornaments. That I think I'm going to do them in the colors, the silks that I just bought from her, to see how I like her silks. And so I think this would be a lot of fun to stitch up with. So there are there's 7 ornaments that's in this series that I might not stitch all of them, but I think it would be fun to stitch a couple of them with those silks. So again, they're not going to be the same colors as what's projected here. All right, so now those are my small finishes, or not my small finishes, my planned small starts for 2021. So then the only other thing to talk about is my small start for New Year's Day 2021. And it wouldn't be a New Year's Day start has to be something spectacular, something I've been looking forward to starting for a very long time. And it's a year of smalls. So what better to do than to do the smallest small I've ever had in my entire life? No, it's not small. Yes, I'm going to start my next Heaven and Earth design. I'm going to do my next full coverage piece. So I am finally ready to start another Heaven and Earth design. It's been a year. It's been a year and a half since I finished Henry, and I'm ready to start one. I've actually been ready to start for a couple weeks now, and I'm dying to start. That's what I've been doing, is prepping to get ready for this Heaven and Earth design start. Unfortunately, the start that I'm going to have, I've had this pattern since I bought Henry back 4 years ago. You can no longer buy the pattern. It's no longer available on the Heaven and Earth Design website. I've checked it out. I checked to see if it was still there, but it's no longer there. So unfortunately, if you're interested in this pattern, it is no longer available. But it is definitely I'm so glad I bought it when I did, because I love this design. It is, it's an architectural design, so very different than the Henry VIII, but it's going to be something that I absolutely love. It's going to look great. I already have the place picked out in my home where I'm going to hang it when it's done in like 5 years. This is probably 3 times larger than what Henry is, but this is going to be enough, I need to stop dallying around and just show you. So this is going to, this artwork is by John Bradley. It is called Harbor Lights. And the stitch count is 625 wide by 416 high. I'm going to be stitching this on 28 count white Lugana 1/1. And even though the Heaven and Earth typically calls for 25 count, so the finishing size on 25 count is 25 wide by 16 5/8 high. So whenever I did the math, it comes out to roughly 22 inches wide by 15 high, I think. So anyways, here is the artwork of what it will look like when it's done. And it's, I absolutely love it. So I will be starting in the upper left-hand corner. So I'll be starting up here in the sky with the clouds and the sky, and I'm going to be starting this on New Year's Day once I finish my Barbara Anna designs. So I have to finish this so I can start my Heaven and Earth designs, and I can't wait. So this is super exciting for me. I knew the time would come when I was ready for it. This was a Christmas gift. The pattern was not a Christmas gift for me, but from my friend, the fabric and the threads were all a Christmas gift to me so that I could kit it up and get it ready to go. And luckily it came in time. So I'm now able to start my next Heaven and Earth design. I will be posting progress on Instagram, so if you're interested in following me on Instagram so you can get progress, it's at @GingerGeraldStitcher, ginger.gerald.stitcher. All the information will be below, and I hope you stitch along with me with whatever you're willing to, whatever you want to stitch on. So, and if you are like me and you are not one to make a lot of plans, I commend you for that. And if you are somebody who loves to have plans and projects and everything, have everything figured out and planned out, more power to you. I think that's great. I'm sure I will have some questions as far as the 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 frame that I have this on. I have this on my Omnic frame. This is a frame that I bought a number of years ago from the Omnic company in Estonia. You can still buy them online, Ominak. I will try to remember to link that below. And I absolutely love these frames. I've never actually used this size frame before. This is my 36-inch frame. So this is my 3-foot long frame. And so the other day I went ahead and cut my fabric and zigzagged around it to make sure that it doesn't fray or anything. And I'm ready to go. I even found my space, my place. Ooh, and I'm hitting my lamp. I even found where I'm going to be starting. I have a 6-inch border on this with this fabric just to make sure that I have plenty of wiggle room, because I am with my Lowry stand. I have the large frame adapter. So what it does is it holds the large frame. So you need to have some space so that I can actually be able to stitch. So I wanted to make sure I have plenty of border for that as well. I know I'm not explaining that well, but whenever I start stitching, I will take pictures and you'll have a better understanding. So that is my plans for 2021. Now let's quickly talk about some of my New Year's resolutions / like non-stitchy related plans. You know, I have not been one to read for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm really hoping to get back into reading a little bit more. So I'm gonna make a projection for January of 2021 that I'm going to try to read 20 pages a day. So we'll see how long and how well that goes. I don't know. My Heaven and Earth design may overwhelm that. And then I'm also going to make a challenge for myself for the year of 2021 that I'm going to stitch every day. Now, in order for me to make that projection, I have to say how many stitches a day that it's going to be. So I'm going to make a minimum of 20 stitches. So if there's a day that I just don't feel like stitching, I'm going to at least try to put in 20 stitches into something just so I can say I stitched every single day. Other than that, there's no plans, there's no rhyme, there's no rhythm. I'm going to stitch what I want, when I want, how I want. And we're going to go from there, and we're going to do 2021 just like 2020 has been for me, and it's going to be a great year just like 2020 has been for me. And I know 2020 has not been a great year for many people. It has been an absolute, probably the best year of my life. And I say that hesitantly because I know many people, it has been a horrible year for many people. And I do truly feel for those people. But, you know, 2020 has, for me professionally and personally, been an absolute wonderful year, you know, outside of COVID. So I wish you all the best of 2021, and I hope for all of you that 2020 hasn't been a great year, that 2021 improves and you have a very good year. And for all of you who are similar to me, that you've had a good year, I hope 2021 remains positive and uplifting and great. So until I see you in the next episode, I hope you all have a wonderful stitching, crafting time. And as always, don't forget to always be creative.